Alright guys, welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, episode 9. Today is February 7, 2011. We're going to get started, and it's about 8:16 p.m. We do this every Monday night at about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we do in Game Chat with Bwana is that we discuss the latest week, the latest news for the past week related to gaming. And that can be PC, that can be Xbox 360, that can be... I don't know, that can be PS3, that can be handhelds, that can be phones, that can be anything. We haven't quite got into board games yet, but maybe I should look into doing a Monopoly cast. I don't know. Maybe we can get some Monopoly experts in here and say, hey, that's not how you get hotels in Park Place. You get hotels in Park Place this way. I don't know. How many of you still play board games? I just never thought about that. To have a podcast dedicated to board games and Risk. This week we're going to be discussing Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, board games. We used to call. I used to joke when I was growing up is that we call them board games because you played them when you were bored. My mom was like, you play the stupid game. You play the game. It's raining. I don't have anything to do. Play a board game, but I'm not bored. Anyway, this is Game Chat with Bwana. We're going to be discussing video games. Video games. That's games that have to do with video stuff and electronics, batteries, electricity, buttons. Unless you're playing the Wii or the Kinect, then you are the controller. It's all fun and games here. Game Chat with Bwana. And what we do is that we talk about a select group of stories. I got a bunch of stories lined up. I got about 11 stories. And we're going to talk about those. And then towards the end of the show, I'm going to ask the chat room to submit their own stories. And the way we do that is that you have to ask the moderators to give you permission to post a link. And we ask that you give them a synopsis of what the link is. Say, hey, can I post a link about... I don't know. Can I post a link about Portal 2's release date being pushed back? I just made that story up, you know. And then the moderator will go, okay, let's post that link. They'll give you permission, and then after they give you permission, you post a link. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube or on Bwana.tv and you want to come and join the fun, just come on by to live.bwana.tv every Monday night at about 8 p.m. and you can join into the fun and do all that good stuff like that now. So just come on by and we'll have fun. But before I continue, let me first talk about my sponsor, which is GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting allows you to share your desktop screen and conduct meetings online. Now, this is a product that a lot of you know about. Some of you don't know about. They've been around a long, long, long time. But the fact remains is that it's one of the better packages out there in terms of conducting meetings online. Basically, the person on the other side see exactly what you see. And it's got a bunch of tools that kind of differentiate itself from other programs out there. I know a lot of people say, well, Bwana, can't you just use Skype and share your desktop and do this and do that? I'm like, yeah, but you'll be missing the annotation tools. You won't be able to draw. There's a lot of highlighting features. There's some sharing. There's some, multiple sharing options. It's Mac and PC seamless. It's a lot of things that differentiate GoToMeeting from some of the other solutions out there. And, it's worth the time and effort if you're serious about your business and saving money on travel budget. We have our techpodcast.com. I'm part of the Tech Podcast Network here. And Tech Podcast, we have a roundtable, I think every other month or every month now. And we utilize this tool to present. And we'll invite vendors. They'll come and say, hey, come get our new USB key. Or, hey, we got a new Wi-Fi extender. And they'll use GoToMeeting to present on that product. They may even show a video. They may even do some cool demonstrations with software, if it's a software package. And we don't have to leave. We can just call in. With a phone number, you can use your phone, your landline, or voice over IP. You can call in, do the meeting online. Everybody can just sit at home and pretend like they were in the boardroom together. So if you want to give this product a try, free for 30 days, go to gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. That's gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. So we are going to get started right away, and we're going to talk about Rift. Rift, Rift. You know, this game, you know you like a game when you see a commercial. I was watching the Super Bowl yesterday, and there was a commercial that came on, and it was like this portal opened in the sky. It looked like water and like it was like water and wind. It was almost like a funnel cloud. And I was watching this commercial, and I said, Rift! Rift! I was like, oh, no. Why am I seeing Rift in television commercials? So, probably an indicator that I'm playing a little bit too much of it. I played this past weekend, and there was an open beta that went from Friday until today. And this story talks about the next open beta, which is good news, and this, you know, is definitely gonna be good news for those of you who are suffering rift withdrawal. That's hard to say. Withdrawal. It's gonna get a 6-day open beta. Now, typically the betas are like, 3 days, 3 to 4 days. But starting on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, there's going to be a 6-day open beta. 6 days of Rift goodness. And this is probably going to give you enough time to get into some of the latter stages of the leveling. I know a lot of you, including myself, who go through the beta, if you start from scratch, you generally don't get to level 20. You're like, 15, 16-ish if you play off and on. Now, if you're, sitting there all day hardcore, you're probably going to get to level 30. But, most of us don't have enough time to do that. But, 6 days is enough to get pretty high. Maybe you can see some of the in-game content if they allow us to get to that point. Now, I don't know anything about the level cap restrictions of this open beta. In the past, the betas, I think the last one was restricted to 35. I think it was level 35. And I think there's a level 50 cap. So, I don't know if this 6-day open beta is going to extend that or is it going to be bigger. But I think it's probably going to be enough for us to get an indicator of the end game. And that was a big question with a lot of people looking at this game. Same with any other MMO. It's like you ask yourself the question, if you guys don't play MMOs, this is a question you should definitely ask if you're going to do it in the long term. After I spend hundreds of hours maxing out my character, once I get that character maxed out, what can I do after that? And that's what we dub in-game. What can I do? Do I have a lot of raids where I can get better gear or get better stats or get better prestige, if you will? Is the player versus player enough to keep me hanging around, to keep paying a monthly subscription fee? Is there any story elements that I would want to unlock, or are there any character progression options that may give me the ability to expand my character even more, even once I hit the maximum cap? A lot of questions that you should ask yourself once you reach that maximum level. And we dub that end game. And typically end game can be very time consuming. The raids can go for hours and hours. You have to get 18, 20 people together to destroy this insanely powerful monster. And it has to be coordinated and stuff like that. So end game is definitely going to be a question when it comes to Rift, and we've been promised the world. So check this out over on Rock Paper Shotgun. They got the details about this 6-day open beta, and maybe we'll see some in game. I know a lot of us in the chat room we definitely have enjoyed ourselves with Rift. This past beta, I think we had a lot of people in this past open beta. They had an open stress test. And it was basically a 2-hour event where they told everybody to get on, call their friends, and make sure that you get everybody on the game because they wanted to break the game. And the game held up pretty well. I mean, there were some lag spikes here and there, but I think what they want to do is they want to stress test it even more. Because what Rift is trying to do, and they said this, we've heard it before, but they seem serious about it, is that they want to do this MMO right. They don't want to have the typical day one MMO where things are broken, servers go down, there's tons of bugs, and you get the typical, wait for the first patch to come out, and then they don't want to do that. And judging by the quality of the game so far in the open beta and in other endeavors and things I can't talk about because I'm under NDA, It's very stable, surprisingly stable, more stable than some MMOs that are out there released right now. So this promise may actually hold up. Check it out, guys. Rift 6-day open beta, February 15th. You can sign up. You can go to zam.com. If you don't have a beta key, go to zam.com. That's Z as in zebra, am.com. They have a ton of what they call VIP beta keys. You can go there, get a beta key, register at riftgame.com, apply that key, and you'll be admitted into the beta. So it's very, very easy to get in. A lot easier than it was in the past to get into the Rift beta. So if you want to get in on this February 15th beta, be sure to go to zam.com. And speaking of MMOs, we're going to move on and talk about another MMO that I've been kind of playing. My play has dropped tremendously since I got in the Rift. But DC Universe Online. And come tomorrow, actually, February 8th, a deal is going to be present. What you can do is that you have the option of getting a 3-month subscription fee for a discounted price. Now, Rift is kind of going to do the same thing in their thing. I can talk about that in a bit. But what they're offering is a discount. Now, typically the online fees for MMORPGs is $15 a month. And, you know, a lot of people pay that monthly. But some people will say, well, I'm going to play this game for at least 6 months, so I'll pay in advance. This offer is for you. For $29.99, you can play 3 months of DC Universe Online. That's $10 a month, 25% off the regular 3-month subscription. And if you pay the normal 3-month subscription fee is $41.99, so you're going to save yourself quite a bit of money. Now, like I said, this is for people who are absolutely sure they're going to give this game a certain amount of time, and you can save a pretty good amount of money, and it adds up if you prepay for these MMOs. I know Rift is going to have a 6-month deal for $10 a month. So that's going to be $60 up front for 6 months of usage. And it's going to be good for, they call it the Founders subscription. So with this Founders subscription, you'll be able to pay $10 a month for 6 months. You pay it up front. After March, mid-March, or maybe, I don't know, I think it's mid-March or late mid-March, that Founder subscription is going to go away, and then the normal price will kick in. So this is for people, they want to give the early adopters a discount. And the same is true for DC Universe Online. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of you, including myself, are kind of skeptical about the future of DC Universe Online. I give it, I said 6 months is good for a good 6 months in its current state. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's probably not going to go past the first month. I don't agree with that. I think it's going to be past that. But beyond 6 months, I really do not know. So I think this is Sony's way of trying to get people to change their mind, to commit, because there's a lot of uncertainty for people. People who play it, they're like, well, I had a lot of fun, but I'm not going to go past the first month. So it really, it makes you think, it makes you want to really reevaluate the game. And the recent content that was added, I don't think I talked about this last show. I may have or may not. I'm drawing a blank. But there was some content added that had to do with Catwoman. And there's some Valentine's Day content. Whole bunch of content got added to the game recently. And it really put a shot in the arm into a game that people were kind of doubting. So if you're skeptical about the content coming, well, they've already released a whole bunch of it, and it was free. So that should increase your faith a little bit in the game, and ensure that the game is actually going to succeed for you. I don't know, guys. It's going to be hard to tell, because games like Rift, games like The Old Republic, and all these other MMOs that are coming out this year alone, it's quickly becoming a crowded market. I think this is truly a year of MMOs. Probably not the year of MMO, but I have not seen this many MMOs come out in a year since like 2001, 2002-ish. You know, when we had PlanetSide, we had Final Fantasy, and we had Matrix Online, we had EverQuest 2, we had I think Asheron's Call 2 was kind of dying down a little. We had a whole bunch of games back then. And then, WoW came out, and then all the different MMOs just kind of tapered off. And now we're seeing that uptick in MMOs all over again this year. So, yeah, we will be watching this very closely. I'm going to be following this game because I'm a DC Universe nut. I've confessed it many, many times. I'm biased when it comes to DC Universe Online, and, I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a Green Lantern nut. I'm a Superman nut. I'm a Batman. I love the villains. I love the characters. I love the comics in DC. So I'm a little bit biased when it comes to this. So check this out, guys. DC Universe Online offer is coming. Actually, it's here because by the time you guys watch this, it'll be here. $29.99 for a 3-month subscription with the company. So check it out. Now we talked about Tor, or the Old Republic, a little bit, and that's what our next story is going to be about. EA, Star Wars The Old Republic, is generating significant development costs, and it's going to require 500,000 subscribers to be profitable. At least 500,000 subscribers are going to be required. And I looked at this, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to go into an MMO to require 500,000 subscribers to be profitable. And EA, they recently came out with their earnings, man. They're not doing so well. But guys, here's the thing. I really think, man, I just had a Kevin Rose moment. Here's the thing. I haven't said that in a long time. I really think they can do it. I think this IP, I really think the Star Wars IP is very strong. When I say IP, I mean intellectual property, meaning the whole Star Wars stuff. I really think they can do it. This game has a lot of hype behind it. I think they can get 500,000, the first couple of months. I don't know if they can sustain it. This is not really bad news. I think they want to really pay for the development costs. I think 500,000 subscribers is attainable, and it would pay for the development costs. Now, as far as upkeep and maintenance and additional content, that's where gets a little iffy. I really don't know if they can maintain that much, especially with, like I said, it's going to be a crowded market this year, guys. There's going to be a lot of MMOs. Rift is the strong contender. All the other ones, DC Universe is good, but Rift is going to be up there. Rift has a lot of positive word of mouth right now. A lot of people are highly anticipating the Old Republic, but, we haven't seen much. We haven't heard much. And, I think on the last show, we showed a video of one of the missions. I'm trying to remember the name of it. On one of the videos of one of the missions of the Old Republic. And it was mediocre at best. It was not impressive. They showed one of the missions. They showed some gameplay. And I was like, ooh. Yeah, I really hope the final game looks better than that. Yeah. But, we're going to be watching it very closely. It says the Old Republic is, like I said, highly anticipated. A lot of, even the people in my community are saying, I'm not going to play Rift because I'm going to play the Old Republic. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. I don't care. That's cool. I'm not going to play DC Universe Online. I'm going to wait for the Old Republic. Okay, that's fine. But I'm anxious to see more. I haven't committed on it. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not, because I really haven't seen anything to convince me to get it. Especially, and I have this very sensitive wound in my pancreas from Star Wars Galaxies, which I have not been as excited about an MMO ever as I was excited for Star Wars Galaxies. And I had the ultimate letdown you can imagine. The Price is Right fail music. Doom, 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 doom. Oh. Ultimate fail for me. I was like, what happened here? What happened? I mean, it started out pretty good. I was like, okay, Star Wars Galaxies, yeah. And then it's like, what are you doing? What's, no. That was weird. Anyway, the Old Republic, guys, 500,000 subscribers. Do you guys think they can do it? I really, I think they can. I think they can, but I really don't think they can sustain it. Now, I think some people were talking about in chat room as 500,000 being enough to kill WoW, and this I mean, I'm glad this came out because you don't have to kill WoW to be successful. You don't have to be a World of Warcraft killer in order to make money. If you don't beat WoW, you know, a lot of people think if you don't beat World of Warcraft, you're going to have to go free to play, and that's not the case. WoW is just ridiculous. No other game has had that many subscribers ever in any. It's just crazy. It's in the stratosphere. It's ridiculous. And companies don't have to take and overtake and kill WoW to be successful. All they got to do is get enough to be profitable. Here's the case: 500,000. I mean, that's not even 10%. That's less than 10% of what WoW has. So I mean, you really don't have to kill WoW to be successful. We will see. I think they can do it just based on hype alone. And remember, guys, they just have to get 500,000. They don't have to keep them. All right. If they get 500,000 subscribers, I think if they get like a couple months out of them, it will pay for those development costs that they invested. And I think that's just what this article is talking about. The thing I'm talking about is, you know, ongoing from that is unsure. We're unsure about. This is on joystick.com. Check it out, guys. They got the details over there. Now, we talked about possible things going bad. Now let's talk about things actually going bad with Company of Heroes. Company of Heroes online beta is shutting down. Not only is the beta shutting down, well, they're just not going to make it out of the beta testing phase. This game was supposed to come out. I don't know what exactly happened, but it will officially close on March 31st. Now, this is something you just don't hear too much about. You don't hear about games not even making it out of beta. Now, we saw with APB that the game actually came out for a couple months and then it died. Well, Company of Heroes Online just... And they announced that it was no longer selling the Coho Cash, Company of Heroes Online Cash, the game's currency, and are urging players to spend cash they have now. Refunds for cash are not likely. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this game, but it sounds like is it like they were going for the free-to-play model? Because when you have a cash store, you kind of have a free-to-play model. And I don't understand. I don't understand why it would shut down before it came out. I'm kind of perplexed. I mean, because I've seen gameplay footage of it. It didn't look terrible. But other than just the gameplay footage, I haven't seen anything else. But anyway, Relic says that the 6-month-long beta test cycle was successful, but the future of the game is in doubt. We're still working on our plans for the Company of Heroes franchise and are not ready to discuss details yet. We will be leveraging all the data and feedback the Company of Heroes online beta generated. So, I really... I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this, but this just goes to show right now that the gaming market right now in its current state is cutthroat. A lot of game developers have to be very careful. A lot of game developers have to be efficient. They have to be smart. a lot of times they have to cut corners, and that's where we come in and complain. And we come in and we say, well, since you're cutting so many corners, we're not going to buy your game. Now, even in the indie development market, just let's go to the indie development with Magica on the PC. You guys remember that game? I played it a little bit here. It released with so many bugs, a ton of bugs. I've never seen a game come out with that many bugs. It literally, the multiplayer was unplayable. This game would crash in random spot. It was very buggy, but it still sold. And they're releasing patch after patch after patch after patch. And I think that's a lot. I think a lot of that has to do with sympathy. Now, if EA or Activision or any of the big publishing houses would have backed this, I think it would have got a lot more negative response than it currently has. I look at that and I go, well, if that was anybody else, I mean, it was a very small shop. That's why I can understand why they, that's why I can understand why they had a lot of bugs. It wasn't a lot of people. They probably didn't have a lot of testers. Probably didn't have a lot of, reviews and a lot of stuff. So, but if it was a big shop, I think they would have suffered this same fate here. I think, because I don't know. I guess when you think about it, the more money you put into development, the higher the risk is that this could happen to you. And I think the guys behind Magica and that indie shop, they didn't put a whole lot of capital into it. They didn't need to. They didn't have that many people developing it. And then, they really didn't have to pay all the publishing costs and all that stuff. So, that you do with the big shop, that to get the name out there. Company of Heroes online beta shutting down March 31st. So if you're into this game, I'm sorry, it's going away. Check it out, guys. GamePolitics.com has the details. Over there. Now we're going to talk about Battlefield. Let's shift gears and talk about Battlefield. Now, Battlefield 1943 was an arcade, I guess you can say an arcade variation of Battlefield. What they did is that they really dumbed down the game, gave you only like 2 or 3 classes, few weapons, and just gave you a basic shooter for like $15. And we played it on the consoles. I bought it both on the PS3 and 360. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I participated in the contest to unlock the aerial assault map and everything. But a lot of people, my PC brethren, were like, well, I'm just going to wait for it to come to PC. I was like, that's cool. I'm going to buy it on PC too. I'll play with you. And we're going to have fun. And that was supposed to happen like January of last year. And here it is of February of this year. And finally, EA has come out to say, well, we're not going to do that. EA DICE has said, we're not going to do 1943 for PC. And I was like, ugh. But then came the but. They were like, but we're going to pour all of our resources into Battlefield 3. And I was like, all right, I'll forgive you. Because I've been looking forward to Battlefield 3 for about 5 years now. And on top of that, the Onslaught DLC, which came out for the consoles, Battlefield Bad Company 2 Onslaught DLC, that came out on the consoles, is also not coming to PC. So I can forgive them because they're working on Battlefield 3, but this is a trend, guys, that we're seeing. We talked about the Dead Space DLC last time. Dead Space 2 DLC being not ported to PC. Now these guys are talking about they're going to cancel these games altogether for PC. And in the same breath, they'll say, we're not going to leave the PC. We believe in the PC. PC is where we started from. We're not going to abandon you. We're not going to abandon you. We're not going to abandon you. Yet, and still, we're seeing abandonment. I'm not going to lose any sleep over DLC. Like I was talking about the Dead Space 2 DLC. I'm anti-DLC. I don't care. But it's just the trend that I don't like. I don't like the shunning. The pushing aside of the PC crowd. I don't like it. Because, as we're going to talk about today, in one of our stories, PC gamers are spending money, despite what these companies may be telling you. Despite the fact that there's these rumors that everybody on PC pirates. You know, PC gamers do spend money. And you will see that in a minute. But not a good trend. Not a good thing. You know, I'm going to be looking forward to Battlefield 3. Oh, look, the next story. Details on Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 details are being talked about all over Twitter. The lead developer has been on Twitter answering questions and questions upon questions and questions. And I really am excited about this. Now, I got two stories I want to talk about. The first one has to do with the Frostbite 2 engine. And if you've never heard of Frostbite, it's the gaming engine that EA DICE uses for their Battlefield games. And it was most known for its Destruction 2.0 that was present in Bad Company 2, where you can just destroy everything in the game. Very few things in the game you couldn't destroy. It was like, you need to make cover. I'm just going to drill a hole in this wall. Yeah, okay, I got cover. Very, very cool system. And this Frostbite engine, Frostbite 2.0 is what I'm talking about here. They've released some details. I'm gonna say some of these things, and you know, you may not understand them. It's engine related. Tile-based deferred shading acceleration via direct compute is being ported to the PlayStation 3 SPUs. Morphological anti-aliasing, MLAA, again implemented with direct compute. This is related to PS3. And it's currently available on only a few PlayStation 3 games such as God of War 3, Little Big Planet 2. DICE intends to bring this feature to DirectX 11 GPUs. Quasi-real-time radiosity. And this is something that they actually put a video out on. It seemed to have to do with dynamic lighting, if you will. And improved environment destruction. So these are just some of the things that came out, and there's more and more that have come out about Battlefield 3 as far as the engine is concerned. Now, as far as gameplay is concerned, some of the details that came out, which I think a lot of us, and we're going to talk about this one a little bit, probably a while. Some of the things that are going to be coming out may be a little controversial. Woo! Prone. Prone will be on all three platforms. And everybody in unison who read this just facepalm. It's like, oh no! They're bringing back Prone. Oh, honey, get the kids. Get the car. Oh, we're leaving the country. It's a disaster. Prone. Now, the reason why I say this is Bullet 2, the reason why people are so adamant is because there was this thing, guys, and you may have been too young for it. In Battlefield 2, it was something called dolphin diving. Dolphin diving is where players would just run around and you guys call it drop shotting now, but back then it was like you would jump in the air, dive, you would go prone midair, and you would be a horizontal target. And it would be almost impossible to hit you if you did it right. It was like you were this jumping horizontal target shooting at people. It was terrible. It was so bad. I mean, it was one of the things that deterred me from playing Battlefield 2 back then, because everybody was doing it and everybody was abusing it, and it was ugly. I was like, why you just won't stand up and shoot and die? Why you won't stand still so I can shoot you? Jumping around? You see all these, it's like a bunch of Supermans flying at you with guns. It's like anyway, they're going to bring back Prone. And one of the things that we learned in the previous story is that EA is going to be leveraging some of the animation technology from Madden. And what I gathered from that, and we speculated back then, it started to make more sense, is that the animation is going to basically take some time. You won't have these instant drop shots that you have in Black Ops. Like, you just go, boop, and you're on your stomach. You know, it's going to take you some time to get on your hands and knees or even drop down. And they say that dolphin diving and drop shooting will not work. All right. The drop shooting just won't work. So that's good news. And if you're concerned about prone, if you're concerned about people abusing it, the fact that they're saying that dolphin diving and drop shooting will not work, then you know, that's good. Now, we played Battlefield Bad Company 2 today. It doesn't have prone. All you can do is get on the knee and shoot. If you're a sniper, you can't prone. You have to get on the knee. And a lot of people didn't like that at first, but they got used to it. The next thing is spotting will be coming back. In its BC2 incarnation, will be making a return, so you'll be able to spot. Very, very important for those of us who play non-hardcore matches. What spotting generally does is that you say, hey, the enemy's over there. Here's the enemy. And when you spot somebody, it notifies all your teammates on their minimap where they are. So it's basically just a key dedicated to going, I see that person right there. They call that spotting. Okay, it's very, very important to help your teammates. Here's another thing that's going to cause ripples and confusion and controversy. The PC version is going to have up to 64-player online matches, whereas console is going to be limited to 24. Oh boy. I mean, I can even hear the whining through the internet. No, it's not, Beaker. It's whining. The console gamers are not going to be happy. Console gamers are going to be like going, why? Why? Now, if you're on the 360, you probably shouldn't be that upset. You're used to that. But my PS3 brethren, you are used to games like Resistance, like Warhawk, like MAG, and you're not generally confined to 24 players. So if I were a PS3 only gamer, I'd be going, yeah. But Bwana will be playing on the PC platform, so Bwana doesn't have to worry about that. Bwana is happy about this. Bwana will not be whining. Bwana will be smiling. It's time to save up for a gaming PC. I actually saw some threads. I was reading News for Gamers today. I was reading News for Gamers today, and there were people going, people were saying they're going to re-outfit, they're going to, get new video card, new guts. They're like, okay, I'm saving money starting today to get a new PC so that I can play this game on absolute best settings. I was like, dang, that's pretty committed. But yeah, guys, 64 players on PC and 24 on the console. So it's like, okay, we're good. Now, there will be a friendly fire option. It's going to be turned off by default. I think that's kind of obvious. I don't know why maybe somebody on Twitter asked them. All of this is Alan Kurtz. He's the senior gameplay designer at DICE, and he's been answering these questions on Twitter. I don't have his Twitter handy, but you can follow him on Twitter, get all these juicy details, and this website basically consolidated a lot of them. So Friendly Fire. Knives and dog tags will return. Now, this is something that I actually liked about Bad Company. When you knife somebody, you basically you have the ability to grab their dog tag, and it's kind of a humiliation type thing. I was able to melee you with a knife even though you had a gun, so I'm taking your dog tags, and it was something that I kind of got addicted to in the betas, and even at the release of Bad Company 2. I had a unhealthy obsession with gathering dog tags. It got to the point to where I would run in the middle of the base, there's just no regret, middle of the enemy's base, and just start knifing people. I got some montages up on YouTube. I was like, it was like Pokemon. I just gotta catch them all. It was like that wonderful image that came up. It was like a juicy, just a wonderful, heartwarming sound when you did it, and you see this little dog tag spin on the screen, and it was just glorious and glistening and shining, and I wanted that. I wanted more of it. And if they were like platinum dog tags, and that means that the guys were higher up, and they were tastier than the bronze ones that everybody else had. Oh, yes, dog tags. Good to know that they're coming to Battlefield 3. So we'll be seeing that as well. And there will be no zip lines or grapple hooks. And people are like, what are you talking about, zip lines or grapple? Battlefield 2 had those. It was one of the expansion packs. I think it was the Euroforces expansion pack that gave you zip lines. Some of the maps had zip lines you can use. So they're not going to have that in Battlefield 3. But here's another interesting thing that I think is going to be talked about for a long time. There will be bullet drop. And that's kind of obvious. Battlefield Bad Company 2 has bullet drop. But it doesn't work the same as Bad Company 2. It will be a much deeper system. Now, people have been speculating on this statement all over the place. And it makes you ponder. It goes, how can you make a deeper system for bullet drop? So, you can think about instances of weather. If it's a snow map or a windy map or a rain map, maybe there'll be a greater amount of physics related to bullets. Wind speed and things like that when you talk about sniping and all this stuff. Maybe they're going to vary, and this is what was talked about on the sites that I read, maybe they're going to vary the bullet drop by gun. Maybe if you have an SMG, close range weapon, maybe there'll be a greater amount of bullet drop on long range shots. For assault rifles, they may have less bullet drop than the SMGs, and sniper rifles and so on and so forth. Maybe it's going to do that. I don't know. It gives you a lot of things to think about. I'm glad he worded it like this. He didn't give away too much, because we can sit here and talk about game chat with Bwana. But I'm telling you, man, all these little tidbits, all this information about this game has got me excited about it. I really want to play Battlefield 3, and I right now I don't see any downside to the game. Now, the one thing I was worried about. Oh, there's one more thing before I get into this. No tracer darts. So you guys know about tracer darts in Bad Company 2. You hit a tracer dart on a helicopter or a tank, and you can get a special rocket launcher to lock onto the tracer dart. Those are not going to be in Battlefield 3. All right. But as far as Battlefield 3 details are concerned, overall, the only thing I was worried about is since this Battlefield 2 is going to be the first Battlefield that I know of that's going to be simultaneously released. I'm talking about not regular Battlefield, not Bad Company. It's going to be simultaneously released on PC and consoles. This is the first one that I know of. I was kind of worried that they were going to dumb the game down And I'm not trying to sound elitist or anything, but when you make a game that's for PC only, you're given a lot more options. Whereas when you're making a game that's PC and for consoles, you have more obstacles, you have more boundaries, you have more walls. You have to consider that fixed hardware for the consoles. Whereas on the PC, you basically, you go for the median PC. Some companies go for the median PC configuration, some go for the upper end PC configuration. But that configuration is much more powerful than the consoles. So I thought, and I was like, man, I really hope they don't dumb down the game. I really hope they don't make the game like, I'm glad to see 64 players. That's one thing. Make the map small. All these things that you hear about, they did because it was coming to consoles. And Bad Company, that was its birth. It was a console version of Battlefield. That, to me, that was the reason they made it. And that's why I didn't have much experience beyond it, because I didn't play Battlefield on consoles. I played it on PC. So when we hear about Battlefield 3, it's like, okay, EA Dice, they got all this console experience now. All this stuff that they're releasing the consoles. We just talked about them canceling the PC versions of their games. I was like, I hope they don't take Battlefield down that same road, because Battlefield is near and dear to me. It's one of the few games out there that really shines, really shines on the PC. I shouldn't say games. One of the few shooters out there that shines on the PC more so than it does on the consoles. It just does. It always has. And I think a lot of us PC gamers, that's our pride and joy. That's our trophy. That's our mantle. That's where we say, hey, PC gamers, we got Battlefield. You guys got Modern Warfare, you got Killzone, you got all these console shooters that you're proud of, but we got Battlefield. Yeah, Battlefield PC. We're going to come it. We're going to do it. Yeah, Battlefield. And if that all went away, we wouldn't have anything. Tier. Anyway, Battlefield 3 details have been all over Twitter, all over the web, so you can consolidate them yourself and check it out. Now, before I continue, let me talk about my second sponsor. They're a partner of us called 123 Systems. 123 System Solutions is a VPS provider that we utilize for Minecraft hosting. If you want to check them out, go to bwana.me/123rocks. That's my affiliate link. And they got some fairly affordable VPS systems. And if you want to run a Minecraft server, and they push the marketing behind Minecraft because that's one of the things that they want to provide these servers for. If you want to run your own Minecraft server, you can check out 123 Systems. Get the 2 GB plan at least. Do not get below the 2 GB VPS, or you will be lagging yourself. You'll be lagging everyone else on the system. Now, this is a shared VPS, so you're going to be sharing the systems with other people. So there are going to be performance limitations. That's why the price is so cheap. But if you want to do this for a few of your friends, we can get up to 20 people on our service to do, reasonably a good amount of stuff on a 2 GB server. So, like I said, guys, you'll get good performance out of a 2 GB server, but if you go below that, man, you're going to hurt. But 123 Systems, they provide our servers. We got our Madness server on there, our Creeper server, and our Diamond server is kind of on life support right now. I'm trying to get it all fixed. The data center had an issue. Now, this is what happens with these VPSs. Let me explain this to you. What they do is that they use third-party data centers, third-party providers, and you're kind of at the mercy of those data centers. So if you have like network issues or if you have data issues, it's kind of the fault of the data center. Now, the reason why I went with 123 is because they went with a lot of prominent people. They went with Limelight. They went with a whole bunch of other people that I trust. So they use really good third-party providers. Unfortunately, one of our servers suffered a data loss, and we were like, oh, but it's the fault of the data center. So that possibility is there. We're going to be implementing an offsite backup. You should too. If you have a Minecraft server, implement your offsite backup right now because your data is never saved. But 123 Systems, go to Bwana.me/123rocks, and you can check them out. And like I say, go to our Madness server, madness.bwana.tv. You can see people using an insane amount of TNT, blowing each other to oblivion, and that's all running on a 123 Systems server. And that's open server, so check it out. Alright. Now we're going to talk about... We are going to talk about Fallout New Vegas DLC. And I'm going to try not to rant because I have a problem with this timed exclusive DLC thing. This DLC came out on the 360 first. And much like our Black Ops brethren, they get the DLC on the 360 first. You know, it's kind of a console thing because us PC gamers, we recently, you know, up till recently, we didn't have this DLC thing. You know, we, on the PC platform, when we play games, we bought expansion packs. And, you know, they were like 29, 30, 35 bucks. And it was like a lot of content. A whole lot of content. To almost to where it was like, you know, what you guys call sequels now. What this generation calls sequels, back in the day, those were called expansion packs. Where they would take the same idea of the game and do a new story. And, you know, update the engine a bit. Those were expansion packs. Now they're called sequels. And you got to pay full price for them. And now they're charging you nickel. I said I wasn't going to rant, and I'm ranting. Anyway, Fallout New Vegas Dead Money is coming to the PC and PSN this month. This is the latest from Bethesda. February 22nd. PS3 owners can pick it up through PSN, while PSC, while PC owners have the choice of Steam and Direct to Drive. You can get it this month. It's going to be likely $10. They haven't confirmed the price yet, but it may be $10 on the PS3 and PC like it was on the 360. So we'll be getting final price on that. So if you're into Fallout New Vegas, the Dead Money DLC will be coming out this month. Check it out. This is over on joystick.com. I'm not going to harp on that too long, but you know, it's just it really, how did Peter Griffin say it? It grinds my gears. You know what grinds my gears? Oh man, this whole DLC thing. Check it out, guys. Joystick has a story. Now we're going to talk about Sony a bit, and if you're a 360 lover and you don't like the PS3, you might want to stop watching right now, because this story may come across as being fanboyish to you, but I'm going to present the facts, and you can interpret it the way you will. But Sony had an insane quarter. And Sony had a really good year last year. So first off, $887 million net profit with the PlayStation brand. Okay. And let's talk through some of the numbers. I mean, they had some losses too. It's not all good. But one of the things I want to focus on is that they... I hope this article has it. What they did last year is that they outsold the 360. I think that might have been the first time in the history of the two platforms, PlayStation 3 and 360, that the PlayStation 3 outsold the Xbox 360. And I don't think this article has it. I wish it did. I thought it did. PSP hardware, sorry, slightly declined software wise. Anyway, what the point I'm trying to make is, or the point I'm going to make is that they have closed the gap between the 360 and the PS3 quite substantially. And the 360 had a really good quarter with the Kinect, sold a lot of units, but at the same time, Sony had a great quarter as well. So here's the thing that I want to focus on is that we're looking at 2011. We're looking at 2011. And if you look at the lineups that's coming for the 360, and if you look at the lineups that's coming for the Nintendo Wii, and if you look at the lineups that's coming for the PS3, I mean, you really have to reach to say that those two are you really have to reach to say that the 360 and Wii have a better lineup than the PS3. I mean, it's so out there. And I mean, I haven't even been playing a lot of PS3, but if you look at the lineups that are coming, it's like, come on. On the 360, you have to look forward to Gears of War 3. Okay. And I'm sure, what was the other title? Is it Forza? No. There was another title. Gears of War 3 and another title. I can't remember the name of it. But it was two titles. That's a shame. I really don't know what to say. But when you look at the PS3, there's a ton of things. I'm not even going to name them all. You guys know them. And I played a video the other day. And I think it was Coggleson who gave it to me. It had a guy. Actually, I might just bring it up now. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. I think I'm gonna bring it up now. Let's see here. Yep, I'm logged in. Let's go to my favorites here. All right, here it is. Mega 64.
Welcome to Nintendo's exciting 2011 lineup. Revolutionizing gameplay all over again. First up for the Nintendo Wii system, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Discover a whole new way to play as Link traversing the Hyrule Kingdom with Princess Zelda in tow. Also coming to the Nintendo Wii this year, the Nintendo 3DS. Finally, glasses-free 3D gameplay in the palm of your hand. And what better way to launch that platform than with Nintendogs? Those cute and cuddly puppies are back, and you'd better feed them on time. And if Nintendogs isn't enough for you, we'll also be launching the Nintendo 3DS with
What am I supposed to do? What should I show? What? I don't know what to show. I don't know what to show.
What should I show? We don't have any more Nintendo games.
What do I do now?
No more games?
What do I do now?
Then break out your wallet and buy about 30 games.
30 games. Okay. Well, I guess that's it, folks.
So yeah, yeah, guys, 2011 is looking strong for the PS3. It's looking even stronger for Sony, especially with the excuse me, the NGP coming out very soon. But the 360 and Wii is not looking as strong. So this may be the year, and this is what a lot of people are saying, this may be the year that Sony may overtake the 360 and take that coveted second place role behind the Wii, because they're closing the gap fast. And I really wish I had that number on here. Let me see. I don't think Joystick. This is Engadget actually that reported it, but nope, they don't have it on here. But I can find that for you. I could probably add it to the links a little bit later, because I did read that, and I was like, wow, they're closing the gap on the 360. And I don't want to quote, I don't want to get the exact number, but the gap is closing between the 360 and the PS3, and I was like, wow, they're really, really close in worldwide sales. Check it out, guys. Engadget has the details on this particular link. Now, here's an article written by founder of JTV, Justin, the Justin, and it's entitled, he has a blog called A Really Bad Idea on Posters, and and this is very interesting. He says, what I learned from watching 6 hours of StarCraft. So he said this weekend he spent over 6 hours watching commentated StarCraft replays while lying in bed. And he basically counted this as marketing research, and he found something very interesting. And this is something that's going to make you guys a little bit, should make you think about this. He found that the money accrues to the distributors. Now, what does that mean? That means that, and you're gonna trip. You're gonna trip, and don't fall. The people who cast the games, the people who commentate the games, make more money than the actual players of the game. When you think about HD StarCraft, Husky, Day9, all these different casters on YouTube, they make more money than, say, E.G. Idra. All these professional gamers are over in Korea. You got Fruit Dealer, you got IMMVP, you got Nesty, all these different StarCraft gamers. These casters make more money than the gamers. The distributors make more money. I was like, what? Yeah, Root Kiwikaki, Cats and Minigun. You guys see these guys on JTV. They're casting on JTV now. They're great cast. You should check them out. Team Root, Ruby, and all those guys. I was like, man. And the gamers actually have sponsors. The teams have sponsors. And these casters are bringing in more money than... They're bringing in more money than the gamers. I thought about that. I was like, wow. Oh, TLO. Yeah, the little one as well. Now, and he goes on to say the real winners are the platforms. YouTube and Blip, all these different distribution platforms that house these games. They get a ton of ad revenue. A ton. Because, come on, if you play StarCraft, there is a high, really, really high chance that you have watched at least 10 videos on the YouTube or Blip. Whether it be a replay, whether it be a commentary, whether it be a Day9 Daily, whether it be whatever, you probably have watched one of these. And given that StarCraft 2 has a giant share of the PC gaming platform, that's a lot of eyes. That's a lot of cha-ching. That's a lot of money. So, and this is the takeaway he got. Being the distribution platform is a lot better than being a producer. And, this is coming from someone who has built a distribution platform in Justin.tv. And, you guys are seeing the influx of all these StarCraft pro gamers coming to JTV. They're taking advantage of the rich revenue sharing program that JTV has. And, they got upwards of 1,000 viewers at 4 o'clock in the morning all the time. All the time. And actually, Hypnomatic point out, Day9 had 10,000 viewers the other day. 10,000 viewers of a former StarCraft pro gamer casting other gamers or giving you advice on the game. And I was like, what? It's insane. It's madness, man. It is absolutely crazy that they can make this amount of money, and esports is taking off. StarCraft is one of the bigger esports titles that's really taking off. You got the MLG games and Halo and Call of Duty, and all these different games and Counter-Strike and Quake Live. All the MLG and esports competitions, they're taking off big. But StarCraft, over the GSL, these gamers win a prize of $88,000 for winning a gaming tournament We don't make that in a year. $87,000 for one tournament. Wow. So, man, it makes you think. It makes you, it makes you really think about this whole gaming thing. We like to play games, but the money is in the distribution. Yeah. So check this out, guys. A really bad idea. Justin has a really good analysis of what he found from watching a lot of StarCraft on the web. All right? Yeah. Let's go. And our final story is we're going to discuss Steam. And Steam is the PC distribution platform for games. Electronic distribution came out in like 2003, 2004. I signed up in 2004. And it's been really big. We always talk about Steam sales. We always talk about getting games cheap on Steam. And when I saw this article, I was like, oh, okay. 2010 was an exceptional year for Steam. This analysis by Fade, Forecasting and Analyzing Digital Entertainment, otherwise known as Fade, they estimate, and this isn't written in stone, this is an estimate, they estimate that Steam earned roughly $970 million in sales in 2010, including, get this, $213 million in December alone. That's almost $1 billion. Almost $1 billion in sales. And a quarter of that was in December alone. You guys remember in December they had the I think it was like 15 or 16 days of sales of all these incredible titles, all these different bundles, and $213 million in December alone. So let's rewind back to that story I was talking about, with all these different companies talking about PC gaming is piracy. Everybody pirates on PC. Everybody, does all these. They don't spend money on PC. PC is a dying platform. It's something that you got to look at and go, well, are they looking at retail numbers or are they looking at digital numbers? Because here's one distribution network, Steam, that's bringing in $1 billion a year in sales. $1 billion a year in sales. How can you even remotely say that PC gaming is not worth an investment? And if you look at the titles that sold the most on the PC platform, it's not surprising. Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, I think Bad Company 2 was like number 3 or 4. Way up there. And, the Call of Duty series earned like $137 million by itself. Sold an estimated 1.6 million copies on Steam. Oh, but everybody's pirating. Yeah. And they got a list here. Left 4 Dead 2 was number 3. Bad Company 2 is number 4. Civ, Portal, Fallout, Metro 2033, Mafia 2, and Warhammer 40K. And they even say in here, not bad for a dying platform, right? I mean, that's the point I'm making. It's like, why are these companies canceling these projects? Why are they canceling 1943? Why are they not bringing Dead Space 2 DLC to the PC? Why are they, delaying the Fallout New Vegas DLC on the PC? Why? It really doesn't make sense. It really, really doesn't make sense. So I really applaud Steam. I mean, they deserve it. They deserve high accolades, high marks. And we haven't even talked about Blizzard. Keep in mind, Blizzard games aren't sold on Steam. So while people want to say that all PC gaming is, World of Warcraft, all PC gaming is StarCraft, this is outside of that. Blizzard is not even included in this conversation. Blizzard has their own distribution network. They have their own Battle.net. You can buy their games up there. So this $1 billion doesn't even include that. I mean, it's crazy to for these companies to do this. So guys, before you go and have an argument or talk about PC gaming is dying, PC gaming is dead, nobody plays on PC, PC is all pirating, everybody hacks on PC, look at this stuff. Look at people like me who cast PC games. People like, I didn't even know that was on PC. You're playing on PC? Wow, I didn't even know that could do that. Blah blah blah. I try to show people that PC gaming is very much alive and well, and it's not all about consoles anymore. To me, it never was all about consoles. PC gaming to me has always been alive and well. So, yeah. And this is not a pro PC gaming speech, if you will. This is a plea for these companies to really rethink their policies. They claim that the dollars aren't there, and I'm looking at those numbers, and I see a lot of dollars there. So that's the thing that I want to. That's the thing I want to bring forward. And yeah, a crowd asked me how much do I make of advertising a PC. I sell so many PC games on this stream. Just by me streaming Magica, I know I sold at least 500 copies. Because I looked at my replay videos. I was like, how many people watch me just a replay of me playing Magica? Because a lot of people didn't even know about it. It was a $10 game on Steam. I'm like, whoa. And it's like, oh, I'm buying Magica now that Bwana played it. Bwana played Magica. I'm going to play it now. I'm like, yeah, go get it. It's great, man. It's and when I play games like Minecraft. I play games like Minecraft. People go, "What the heck is this?" The first reaction is this game looks terrible, and then they see all the stuff you can do, and they come back and watch more, and they come back and watch more, and the next thing you know, they're going, "Can my PC handle that? How much does it cost? How much is a gaming PC? Bwana, what's your specs? Let me look at this. Let's see how much this actually does cost." And I go, "Well, this PC was around $700, $800 when I bought it a year ago." And they go, "Well, that's actually not too bad." And it's got a 5-year investment on it. So, I don't know. It's just a bunch of myths when it comes to PC gaming. Now, I'm trying to get off of this, but I can't. It's a bunch of myths. People go, PC gaming is just too expensive. You have to upgrade video cards every year to play the games. Blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody hacks on PC. Blah, 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 blah. It's so much better on consoles. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody talks on PC. There's no mics. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And then I stream a game and show the exact opposite. Oh, man. So, anyway, guys, Steam, congratulations again. $1 billion, according to the study. And like I said, this is a study. It's an estimate. It's not exactly written in stone. But these guys, this is what they do, forecasting and analyzing digital entertainment over channel. All right, guys, that concludes all my links for Game Chat with Bwana. That was 11 stories. We got a pretty good amount of time out of that. We're going to now shift gears to see what you guys have, what links you have to provide. And again, what I want you to do, and remember, we need you to ask the moderators for permissions to post the link first. So ask the moderators, say, can I post a link to such and such? And you have to give them a description of what it is. Don't just say, can I post a link? Please don't do that. That drives them nuts because they don't know what you're going to post. So ask them, can you post a link to such and such? And please ensure that the link is fairly recent. We ask that the links, look at the dates on the links that you're going to provide. And just because you just saw it today doesn't mean it's new. Look at the links and see if it's like within the last week. But that's kind of our window here. We're talking about the last week of gaming news. So try to ensure and try to look and see if the story is actually a week old. All right. And I'm out of water. My voice is just about gone. Oh, did you guys catch that Android commercial on the Super Bowl where the guy was putting thumbs on that. That was kind of disgusting. Putting thumbs on the Android. Okay, Kyocera Echo. Kyocera Echo, a dual-screen Android gaming phone with 2 launch games. This is pretty cool. It looks like a DS phone. It really does. It looks like the Kyocera. I saw this in my newsreader the other day, and I thought about the DS. I was like, wow. Looks like a DS phone. Coming to Sprint later this year, it's been touted as the world's first dual touchscreen smartphone. At a preview event today, we got to see the phone running The Sims 3, optimized to take advantage of both screens. Unsurprisingly, it looked like a DS version, albeit with higher resolution graphics. The phone is set to launch with one other game, although a Sprint representative wouldn't reveal what it was. It's going to be coming with Android 2.2, and blah, blah, blah. Games must use the Sprint's SDK to take advantage of both screens offered by the Echo, blah, 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 blah. Pretty good story. So this is the Kyocera Echo, a dual-screen Android. Looks like it really does. It looks like a DS phone with the dual-screen setup. Check it out. All right, so this next one, this is what I was just talking about, the Super Bowl ad. The Xperia Play had a Super Bowl ad, and if you watch, I don't even want to look at the picture. It's kind of disgusting. Oh no, advertising. It's kind of disgusting, because what they showed this Android robot like in the deep slums of some, looks like a third world country. I don't know where it was, but he was like in the back room of some probably unlicensed surgeon. I don't know. That's the way they made it seem. And he was getting thumbs surgically attached to his robot body. That's what you see. Those are actual thumbs, and you see the thumbs move in the commercial. And oh man, I saw it now. I was cringing. I was like, oh, I can't watch. I get squeamish. I can't watch those surgery shows. I can't watch those shows. Even sometimes CSI and NCIS where they sort of autopsies. I'm like, oh no, I can't watch. Ugh. Blah blah blah. But yeah, Xperia Play. Go to YouTube.com. I think it's AdBlitz, AdBlitBlitz. I think that's what it is. That's where they have all the Super Bowl ads. You can check out all the Super Bowl ads up there at YouTube. All right, good link. Good link. Oh, thanks, B. George. Yeah, that's the link. AdBlitz. Okay, any more links? Did I miss one? Yeah, go ahead and post them if you got them. No, Shazam, we haven't posted the DC Universe Online content. But I was talking about it. If you got the link, we can post it. Whoa! Dude, don't. Oh, come on. Shorter link. Shorter link. Don't right-click on Google search results. You get that stuff. Gizmodo. Blah. The PS2 will just not die. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. So then release the quarterly findings. Okay, we talked about this a little bit more. But forecasted will have sold 6 million PS2s by the end of it. Blah, 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 blah. 150 million consoles sold. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So the PS2 is still selling. And it hit a landmark of 150 million consoles sold. That's quite a bit. The PS2 just won't die. It just definitely won't die. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of links. Hold on. Alright, let's start from the top here. Let's see. Murph. Joystick. AVP game engine assure a fully functional on NGP. Alien vs. Predator has been added to the list of NGP games that are possible on the NGP. So they have a fully functional version of AGP. A fully functional version of the engine ready to be licensed. And yeah, cool. We will be attending DICE this week and GDC to show what we have created. When does GDC start? Do you guys know when GDC starts? That's the Game Developers Conference. There's going to be a lot of juicy stuff at GDC. Hey, you posted that long Google link, dude. That's it's a redirect. I don't like clicking on those links, dude. Okay. Fallout 3 influences Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim difficulty curve. Well, first off, that's a terrible headline because I have no idea what it's about. Fallout 3 influences the difficulty curve of Skyrim? Is that what they're saying? It has looked to its own Fallout 3 for influence when it comes to fixing the difficulty curve. So they're going to mimic the difficulty curve of Fallout 3 and Skyrim. Okay. That's good to know. The DC Universe link isn't loading for some reason. Let me get the one from Foxy. Did he post it? Why are these links breaking in the chat? I have to do copy and paste. Okay. Yeah, here's the Catwoman DLC that I was talking about earlier. Actually, I don't think I talked about it last show. But it's going to be the Catwoman DLC, or not DLC, the Catwoman content for DC Universe Online. It looks a whole lot like the Black Adam content that's currently in DC Universe Online. You know, it's very Egypt inspired. Lots of content. It's going to be. Let's see if they have a paragraph which describes it. She's going to be a pharaoh leader this month, blah, 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 blah. She accidentally unearthed a set of cursed Egyptian cat artifacts as part of a massively multiplayer online game February's update. Meant to highlight Catwoman. You're not just getting a single new episode and a boss battle. Other things coming with the update, including Wonder Woman-themed Valentine's Day content, a new encounter in the Batcave. So it looks like it's going to be a fair amount of content coming from the DC Universe Online stuff. Okay, so Coolest Cole had this one. That's not gaming related, dude. The robotic avatar. It's a good story, but it's not gaming related, I don't think. French I Am Alive report was a joke. French gaming site Jeux Video says its report that Ubisoft's I Am Alive would get a digital-only release was just a joke. But it's the internet's fault for not understanding what was obviously a joke. I guess I missed this story. I'm not sure. A week ago, revealed that I'm alive. I'm getting TLDR vibes here. TLDR. So it's a joke. Murph is a regular. He can post links anytime he wants. And so far, he's been posting good ones. GoGo plans to expand into in-flight movies possible gaming. Huh. So they have basic in-flight Wi-Fi, and they're probably going to go into gaming that you can do on planes. Now gaming on planes is kind of sucky right now. I remember when I was flying, the few times where I racked up enough points to get first class, they had these little stupid games on the little consoles and the things. But what kind of games are they talking about here? Start with a library of in-flight movies that customers will access later this year and could eventually expand into other in-flight content, including live gaming, so you could play with other people on the plane. Okay, we kind of I think I kind of saw something like that before. They had like trivia on the plane where you can do trivia against people in the other against people on the plane. It was actually pretty fun. Okay, let's see if I missed any links. I think I got them all. Okay, cool. I've caught up. Call of Wares. Well, yeah. Anyway, I don't see it, so I missed it. All right. Yes, I did talk about the Rift beta. That was the first story I talked about. All right. Mortal Kombat story here. Mortal Kombat and MK Annihilation Blu-rays include costume for the game. Interesting. These films will be sold individually and packed with various special features, most notably a free exclusive Jade character costume download for the PlayStation 3 version of the game. So I wonder how they're going to... Oh, that's pretty interesting. That's a good cross-promotion. Makes sense. I mean, it's the movie. So yeah, why not utilize features of Blu-ray to get some DLC or some bonus content for the game? Makes sense. That's cool. I actually liked the first Mortal Kombat movie. It was my favorite video game movie for a long time. It was cheesy in a lot of parts, but I think it was actually fairly entertaining. Yeah, this is only for PS3. The costume is only for PS3. Alright, guys. We didn't talk about the Killzone beta too much. I want to mention that. The Killzone 3 beta occurred this past weekend. I installed it and didn't even play it. Oh, man. I made so many plays. I was like, alright, I'm going to play Killzone now. And then something came up. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to play Rift and then I'll play Killzone. I played Rift and then I fell asleep. And then... Anyway. But I still got time to play it. It's not over yet. I'm going to check it out. It looks really good. And I think I saw a story where, I didn't talk about it, but Killzone, the pre-orders shot through the roof as a result of, let me go to the forum real quick. I think I have that story on the forum. The Killzone 3 pre-orders pretty much shot through the roof as a result of this beta. Let's go to the news feed here. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. So yeah, Guerrilla Games unleashed Killzone 3 open beta. Hewlett News has reported that there is a distinct correlation between a heavy dose of new Killzone 3 pre-orders and increased PlayStation 3 SKU sales. Meanwhile, the game has consistently stuck at the top of the 10 bestseller list on Amazon, even beating out a reasonably priced Call of Duty Black Ops. So, truth be told, the open beta is impressive. Players who didn't like the heavy controls in previous iterations of the series have found confidence in the new style, and the unique atmosphere is surreal as they come, blah, blah, blah. So basically, they're selling a lot of consoles, and they're selling a lot more pre-orders. They say it's a pretty good correlation between the open beta and those new numbers. So, yeah. And guys, if you haven't, this is a good time to plug our forum. Go to bwana.tv/forums. Sign up for our forum, man. We got a really nice forum now. I actually invested some money into this. Pretty good forum software in Zinforo, made by the guys who make VB Bulletin or V Bulletin. One of the founder of V Bulletin, who left the company. Yeah, Zinforo's very nice forum software. We got a pretty thriving community. Everybody posts there every day. Nice system. So go to bwana.tv/forums. That's the plug for today. Alrighty. Alright, guys. I think this is a good stopping point. I got 2 hours on the casting timer, so it's probably going to be an hour and a half show. So I want to thank everybody for coming by to Game Chat with Bwana episode 9. And what I want to do is, okay, as part of the stream, don't go yet. As part of the stream, I want you guys to come up with a title. You guys remember in Bwana.org radio, we used to come up with titles? Go to the show links and look at what we talked about, and I want you to come up with a witty title. We want to vote on some titles here before I sign off. So I'm thinking, if I go to the title list here, let's see, or the show. We talked about Battlefield 3. We talked about Rift. Talked about New Vegas, Dead Money. You can come up with say Battlefield 3 is dead. No. Steam makes nearly $1 billion. Battlefield 3. We can say BF3 kicks up some steam. I'm rusty at this. We used to be good at this. A dying PC gaming is full of steam. PC gaming is full of steam. PC gaming has a full head of steam. The war is over for Bad Company 2. PC gaming brought back alive. You see where I'm going with this? The latest news in gaming and other news brought to you by Bwana and the creators of Coca-Cola. A billion Steams runs his box down. Steam is rich. I like it. And whoever we pick, that's going to be the title of the show. Steam makes some dead money. That's what I was thinking. I was like trying to get the dead money in there somehow. Dead. I don't know. That's kind of what we're talking about. Mixing things up. PlayStation has a strong quarter. Okay. PC gaming, cue the music, I'm still alive. Because we got, okay, think about it. We got some games that are shutting down. Company of Heroes shut down. The Old Republic has to have 500 million or 500,000 subscribers to be profitable. And we got the word dead money in there, so you can play with that. You can say Company of Heroes. You can say, I don't know. Ah, man. I'm rusty. We're rusty at this. We used to be so good at this. Ooh. Ooh. Fish Twit is on a roll, guys. Battlefield 3 does not suffer from Frostbite. I like it. That's good. Battlefield 3 does not suffer from Frostbite. I like that one. DLC plus Steam equals Bwana's rant. The circle of gaming, growth and death. MMO steaming ahead. DLC raising heated steam. Wow, that's actually pretty good. MMO steaming ahead. DLC raising heated steam. The last part's kind of iffy. I like where you're going with that, though. So far, I think Fish Twit's in the lead with the Frostbite. That's witty. Yeah, we want corny. That's what, and Ayers, Gems, whatever, I can't say your name, Jams Hitty. That's what we want. We want a corny, really corny, witty title, to where you just go, daw, daw. DC Universe expands its universe. No. Good try, though. What happens in New Vegas stays in New Vegas. Acer Jamshidi. Man. You can say, okay, Sony, Steam making dead money, PC gaming still alive. I guess. Something like that. Nero the Cat fiddles with Rome Burns. Bwana equals PC gaming. Steam just had a Call of Duty. You said duty. Alright, I think we're going to go with Fish Twits in the interest of time. It's getting late. Fish Twits wins. Battlefield 3 does not suffer from Frostbite. That's going to be the title of this show. If you go to YouTube, you'll see that. I'm probably going to put the GCWB : and then the name of the title of the show. Alrighty, guys. We will be seeing you all next week. I want to thank everybody for coming by the Game Chat with Bwana. We're going to do that title thing next week as well. Monday nights, every Monday nights, come by here at live.bwana.tv. And we're hosted by Justin.tv. You can come to Justin.tv/Bwana. And we talked about the latest gaming news over the weekend. We go back and forth and we talk about it. And we talk about it in the chat. You can see the chat on the stream. And it will be published to YouTube. Alright, guys. Thanks for coming by. Game Chat with Bwana. That's a wrap. We're done with this particular show. And we will definitely see you all next time with Game Chat with Bwana. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.